Okay, hold on. Let me take you to the past. It was March 2, 2022. Samsung has just launched the Samsung S22 Ultra, and back then it was yet another Samsung flagship. But now it's time for the S23 Ultra launch. And also, we have personally used the iPhone 14 Pro for a long time. And in the last SNL Live on Saturday 9 p.m, we had so many questions regarding the Samsung S22 Ultra. And as an Indian, we love the older version when the newer version launches because sasta hoga na. And finally, gathering all of this, we also have everything that you need to know about the S23 series and S23 Ultra. This is Prateek, you're already watching TechWiser. Let's go. Now, after using S22 Ultra for a long time, we liked it so much that we made a trophy for it. Now, I'll give you 3 reasons why I feel this is better than any other flagship phone out there. Of course, including dynamic iPhone 14 Pro. And these are the features that even if you're ready to pay money, you won't get it on any other phone. Now, one thing which at the start of the year, even we didn't realize, this S22 Ultra has a far better camera than any other Android phone, or for that matter, this was the biggest Samsung jump in terms of camera. Like the amount of quality photos we have taken with it, that is insanely good. And I love smartphone cameras which, surprises you with the photos that you take. So this is a photo from a video where we compared Mrinal versus me in photos, and of course Manu was the model. And if you zoom into this photo, the hair cutout is so perfect. Like cliche, but it feels like a DSLR photo. Let me explain it to you. This DSLR here has a very big camera sensor, so even if you place the person far away from the camera, you will still get a very good natural blur. But phone camera sensors are this small if you compare them with DSLR, and for them to get a natural blur is very difficult. So phones have to use AI or secondary camera to blur things out in the background. And the portrait cutout with S22 Ultra is really great. And it's not just with one photo, but a bunch of photos that we have taken over the year. Now the exciting thing is the S23 Ultra's 200 megapixel sensor will be bigger than the S22 Ultra, so that would mean brighter and sharper photos than S22 Ultra. Plus, there's going to be improved night mode and astrophotography, so now you can spy on buildings on the moon. And not just the main camera, the S23 Ultra will also have 3 other cameras. Like if you go on some traveling or a trip, the option to zoom all the way from this ultra wide to 10x zoom is crazy. And even if needed, you can go up to 100x zoom. I know those memes. They are funny. But the moon photos come out really well. Any guesses on the zoom level on S23 Ultra? Like 200x, 300x or more? But the second point which I hope Samsung continues is software updates. See, as of now, hands down, One UI is the best Android skin, and Samsung has the best update policy in Android. It promises 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security update with the flagship, and that just not promise. We saw Samsung phones were the first one to receive Android 13, and even this S22 Ultra, hold on, has the latest January Android update. And they brought some excellent features, like recently we were house hunting, bachelor life. So we were looking at rent boards here and there, and I have lots of photos of poster, cards, and I can just long press the number in the gallery and copy text. Then you have this S Pen here. Frankly, I haven't used it that much because I still prefer sketching and drawing on real paper, and you can occasionally annotate and sign documents with this. The S Pen has a 2.8 millisecond latency on S22 Ultra, so you get that actual pen to paper feel. Now here's one more thing. The other day we had to present something on the TV. So all you have to do is connect the S22 Ultra via this HDMI cable, and hold on, connected, and you get this Samsung Dex pop-up. So now you can remove your S Pen, navigate to the PowerPoint presentation. Here you go, slideshow, full screen. And now I can keep my phone aside, and I just have to click on it. Next slide, click, next slide, double click, previous slide, double click, previous slide. By the way, we were not presenting this at the office. Also, it's helpful to take group selfies, click, and photo taken. That is not a very big use that you go out and spend extra money on this S Pen, but when you buy the phone, you will find your own use of the S Pen, and it's free with the S22 Ultra. And all of these features will be present in S23 Ultra as well. Plus, Samsung might launch One UI 5.1 version along with S23 series. Let's see what features we get with that. Number 3 is the Samsung display. See, iPhone 14 Pro is a brighter display compared to Samsung S22 Ultra. Like for the first time ever in history, we have had a non-Samsung phone that is the brightest. But in real life, watching content on S22 Ultra is better. Like see, the bezels are so thin, and it's going to be thinner on S23 Ultra. Waiting for the day when flagships are totally bezel-less. Then you can watch TW videos without all of this. And on top of that, S23 Ultra is supposed to have a brighter display and louder stereo speakers. Like, I was watching an old animated movie Kung Fu Panda, and it is so colorful and vibrant on the S22 Ultra, it's an experience. And of course, the display is ultra. Get it? And this is funny. Initially, when the phone was new, I used it without a case because new phone, Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. I'll take that as a compliment. And I dropped it and nothing happened. Like, just to show you, hopefully it doesn't break. 3, 2, 1. Now, Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus was especially made in collaboration with Samsung and Corning, and this could handle drop resistant on normal surfaces up to 2 meters. But of course, you won't check the surface and drop your phone. So Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 Plus will have drop resistant on asphalt and concrete road, which should be good. Thank God there's no scratches. I'm not doing this again. Now, before we get to the conclusion, here's what we know about everything in the S23 series. First of all, the biggest upgrade in S23 and S23 Plus will be the design. Instead of separate camera island, these will have the same camera holes and look like S23 Ultra or S22 Ultra. S23 will see a battery bump of 200 mAh and you will get a 3900 mAh battery, and battery life was the weakest part of the S22. So that should improve battery life more. You will also see an increase in brightness, and S23 and S23 Plus will have the same exact display. In S23 Plus, you will see a 4700 mAh battery. Both the phones will have the same triple camera setup of 50 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide and 10 megapixel 3x telephoto lens. Same, you will get 25 watt wired charging on both. Now, the biggest upgrade in the S23 series will be S23 Ultra. And the reason is, S22 Ultra is also not perfect. Like, for example, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 was a hot chip. It was hot on all phones. Here, Samsung S22 Ultra doesn't overheat and all, but if you use it heavily, game, use hotspot, camera all day, the battery drains out and you have to charge it by evening. But this should be fixed in S23 Ultra, which comes with Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is a bit cool chip. And all global S23 series will use Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chips. Now, in terms of camera, you will get a brand new Samsung 200 megapixel camera sensor, an upgraded 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and then again a different 12 megapixel selfie camera. Rest, the 3x and 10x camera will be the same 10 megapixel. So overall, see, S22 Ultra is the best Android phone you can buy right now. But see, the S22 Ultra will still be available after the S23 series launch. So wait a bit and you can see the offers and prices, and then you can still go for S22 Ultra if you get it at around 80,000 with offers and everything. If you like this long-term throwback videos, 8,000 likes, we'll keep doing more of it. On that note, this is Pradeep signing off. See you in the next video and pew 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 pew.